Okay, so here we are. We're going to assemble the comparator. Hopefully everything is going to go okay. Fingers crossed. And it's only really a sort of pre-assembly because, like I said earlier, I'm probably going to grind a few faces just to make it look a little bit more appealing. Right, so we'll start with the bottom piece. We all saw the bottom piece being machined. There was another slight design change that I think I mentioned in the last video, whereas originally the adjusting screw just worked against the flexure plate, but obviously the flexure plate worked or reacted slightly differently to the weight of the column and the top piece, and I was expecting it to sort of wanna close up, and it didn't move. So there we go. So here's our bottom. This is our plate. This is our touching off plate. So this goes here on the front, and that's what I'll touch, you know, whatever it is we happen to be measuring. It's the same material as the flexure plate. It's a sprung stainless steel. It's 1mm thick, and to be honest, I thought it was I hand ground this. I marked it and did it on a linisher, and thought it'd be a reasonably easy, quick little job, but it really doesn't like being drilled. As you can see, yeah, the smaller drills were really wanting to wander on it, you know. So, but we got past it. So we got two little screws. I'm going to try and do it so you can see it, but you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. So we've got two little screws. Originally I was going to countersink it, so they ended up flush, but there just wasn't enough material there really, and it doesn't really matter because there's a gap between this and the top plate, and I mean the movement between these two plates is very minimal, because obviously the column itself is, you know, 300mm high, so you know the adjustments then at the bottom, yeah, are very slight, to actually get movement in the top there. Now what I got is I got a little stainless steel stud that's gonna go into this hole. That'll come up through the top plate, and then what I got is a small, if you can see it, a small grub screw that just locks that into position. If it'll go in, so that'll lock that stud and stop that from turning, and that should sit flush. There we go. There we are. The bottom of this, the 3 feet, they're going to be ground, and maybe we'll lap them as well, you know, just so that it's going to slide nicely on the surface plate. Our next piece then, so that's that pretty much assembled. Next piece then is our top piece. So this is where this is what we bored for our main column. There we go. And in the bottom then we've got a countersunk hole that the securing bolt will go into. So that's nice and clean on there. So that's nice and snug now. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a tap a minute. Let me get a okay, there we go. I don't really want a great deal of pressure on these screws because we got a lot of stainless on stainless, and you know, hardened tool steels on stainless and whatnot, and I don't want anything binding up just yet. Okay, there we go, so it's nice and snug on there. So that's going to fit over like that. And what we got is we got our so this is the Flexure Plate. This, like I said, is sprung stainless steel. It's not cheap. It wasn't cheap at all. It was quite expensive. In fact, I think this was about £4 or £5 for 4 pieces, 100 by 40 mil. So it was, you know, it was not cheap. But when you sort of consider the cost of these tools, that's if you can find somewhere to buy one from. As far as I'm aware, and I've done a few searches on the internet from, Tough Pierce are the only people that have one actually listed for sale, and they want a cool $350, I believe, for theirs. So, you know, it's a little bit awkward now. Let's try another one. A little bit difficult because it wants to spring apart on me. I'm afraid you're not going to be able to see this in a minute, but it's a lot easier this way. Okay, right. I might have it on. Why didn't I mark it? I got the plate on upside down. Yeah. There's a difference. They're offset. The holes are offset in one direction because of the different thicknesses. The bottom plate is 2 mil. It's 2 mil thinner than the top plate, and I didn't want to punch mark it because I didn't want to make a mess of it, basically. So that's why. All I've done with these is I've just rubbed them over with a little bit of Scotch-Brite just to make them a little bit shinier. Okay, we should. There. Still see, can't you? Yeah. Just. Okay, so I'm just gonna move that. Be easier if I do it that way. Yeah. Don't want to stand up with that plate on it. so just snip them up like that. Okay, so there we go, that's that plate on, and that ends up nearly flush with that. Okay, see it there, can you? Okay, the next one then is our adjusting. Come on, you bugger. Let's hit on there. Okay. Okay, got a little bit of clearance over the screws. I may have to change them to a slightly smaller screw. Okay, next piece then will be our indicator holder. Undo them. Should. See there, yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought. Right, okay, I've just noticed a little bit of a problem, but not the end of the world. There we go. Okay, so we'll pop that through there, and our little brass one on to the side. And there we go. And I'm sure you can see the problem that I foolishly didn't notice when I measured this originally. It was gonna be a different indicator. A much shorter indicator, and I've just noticed now that obviously these need to be, you know, pretty much in line, and they're not. So I'm hoping that I can change the tip on this one and we'll be good to go. But there we go. I'm gonna have a look at this little problem, and then we'll come back and we'll give it a try out. Rose, shut up, babe. Okay, so after Okay, so after much head scratching and a lot of swearing and blaming other people for my mistakes, I realised that I swapped the indicators. This was the original indicator that I took the measurements from, thinking that it was exactly the same as the other one. I'll grab the other one. So this is the other one, and obviously, you know, there's a quite a major difference in the stem length. So I swapped them out and thought, great, all my problems are over. However, they weren't, which is why I've had to get rid of, swap this original touching off plate and make a new one. Because, and I don't know why, well, I could give you 1,000 reasons why I measured it the way I did, or why I drew it wrong, or this, that, the other. You know, I've held management positions, so I'm quite proficient at blaming everything other than myself. However, the fact it does remain that I measured it wrong. I measured from the bottom of there, from the end of the stem, rather than the actual end of the indicator, and caused myself a few issues. However, the sort of flip side to veering off drawings and causing yourself problems is that sometimes by solving those problems, you get to solve another set of problems that previously would have been sort of too much effort. So now we've let me just move this out of the way. Now I've changed the touching off plate here. The first thing was, you can see, is obviously it's a little bit longer. It's probably, I don't know, 15, maybe 15. Well, it's the length. It's this much longer, you know, exactly. Strangely enough, but in doing that, it caused me to think about this radius. Now, originally, I just put a radius on there, a radius that looked pretty, and didn't really consider the relationship between the radius on the end here and the indicator. Now, the more I thought about it, I realized that radius needed to be the same as the radius from just so you can see, from the center of my column, out to there. So even if my indicator is slightly off, you know, center, because there's no key or anything on here, it's just it's sliding on the shaft. I've got this range where I'm not going to have to. I haven't got a lot of adjustment in and out on the indicator, and I think I'd have probably fallen foul using that radius, because it's going to drop off as soon as the indicator rotates around this shaft. It's going to drop off quite rapidly, the distance between them. So I solved that problem. The second issue that was solved was I used slightly thicker material this time. This time it's 2mm thick, so I had enough material there to countersink fixings, so that was good. Also, whilst it was apart, when I was playing around with it, adjusting it back and forth, I didn't really like, it had a bit of a sloppy feel as such. The flexure plates sort of flex to a certain degree, then it would, you know, there'd be a bit of stiffness and it'd go loose, so it wasn't very pleasant to adjust. So what I did is I drilled 2 pockets in there and mounted two small springs in there. That's going to give it a much more positive feel to it. So what we'll do is we'll just mount him back up. The little bit of preload that those springs give you give it a much sort of, I don't know, firmer sort of feel when you're adjusting up and down, which I think is more preferable because of the basically the sort of measurements that you're taking, the range in which you're measuring. Okay, so we're still shut there, right? We'll put a little screw top back on. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set it up just to show you on this square. It's on a wooden bench, so it's not by any means accurate. It's a little bit awkward on this edge. I should have turned the square up there. Yeah. I knew it was there somewhere. There we go. So we're just touching there, and we can quite easily zero it up. So after much messing about and much scratching of heads and whatnot, I think it's actually done. I move then. Where did I move? Hang on, tell you what we'll do. What we'll do is we'll do I want to no, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to get it stripped down, get it ground. We're going to grind the feet on the bottom. We're probably going to grind this top fascia. I'm probably going to grind the sides and top and bottom on this as well. Like I said before, purely just to make it look pretty. And then we'll set them up on the surface plate, and I'll calibrate it against a square that the master square that I got here that I know is right. And I've got an imported El Cheapo angle plate that we'll inspect and see how far out or how right it is. Okay, right, see you in a bit. Okay, so it's moment of truth time. What we're going to do is we're going to calibrate this on our square that we know is right, It's a little bit difficult picking up on this edge because it's only, you know, I don't know, quarter inch, 6mm sort of wide. So I'm gonna put a parallel up against that face. Again, the parallel is good. It's, you know, a reasonably expensive parallel, so I'm happy that that's, you know, within a sort of measurable range. And then we're gonna check our El Cheapo angle plate, which again is supposedly guaranteed within a range. I'll be honest, I've never actually believed it, so I have abused it. It's more being used as, I don't know, it's been used as all sorts, you know, certainly not as a, you know, precision, you know, fixture, that's for sure. But we're gonna check it and see if I got my money's worth out of that as a sort of finale to put the comparator through its paces. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'm sort of working around the tripod a little bit here, and I'm stood in front of the light, so the light isn't great. But according to the viewfinder, you can see the indicator. So we'll assume that it's all okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put the parallel up against it, and I'm just gonna bring them in so that the indicator's actually gonna hold it there. You know, I've already come up and set this, so that's why it's showing nigh on 0. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer, shall we? Oh, yeah, bugger. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. Right. Okay, we'll take it away. Give one more go, see if we return to 0. Yeah. Okay, so we're good. So we'll move these out of the way now. Put them over there. Just give this a wipe over. And we'll see how good it actually is. You know, none of the actual comparator's been ground yet, so it's still a little bit right. Let's see. Okay, let's start at this corner, shall we? Okay, well that's showing 0.0. Do you know what? I think that's it. There we go. That's good. That's showing 0 there. Oh, that's showing quite a lot over there. Let's go back to here and try it again. That may be me. What's going on here? Hang on. Let's have a look what we're doing wrong here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set it up on this square. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is made to DIN 8750150 by 100. Okay, so that's I'm happy that that is okay. I'm quite happy with the parallel. The parallels, you know, are reasonably, you know, expensive parallel, so I'm happy with that. Okay. So just right there, just okay. Let's see if we go back to 0. One fraction more. Fraction more. Okay. Okay. Right, we're coming out. We'll give it another pop. Okay. Yeah. There we go. I think. See that kind of. There we go. Okay. So we're happy. We're at 0 there. Let's try our plate. Put them on wipe over. And we shall check it. Okay, so we'll start with this edge. And you know what? That's. Can you see that? It's just slightly off. You know, let me bring it back a bit. There. Okay, we're showing miles over again. Why is that? Why is that shift? Something's moving here, and I'm not sure what. Something's very sensitive here, and I'm not sure what it is. Is it that? It's not that. The indicator's tight. Okay, right, we're back to 0 there. I think this indicator's sticking a bit. Okay, so we're showing just under there. Just under there. It's getting worse as we're going across. Oh, no, back to 0 there. Well, it does appear that I have varying results here. What if I was to do that? Sorry, I'm knocking the camera here. There's something, I'm not sure what it is. So I think, well, that's showing just under there. That's showing just under. Oh, that's miles. That's showing just under. I'm not. I'm showing just under. Oh, I'm showing over now. What's going on here? Ah, right. Haha. I see the problem. Okay. I thought it was my comparator, but it's not. If I press on that, so it's not actually flat. I think that probably answers many of the questions that we've just posed to it. That you know, it's right. Well, there we go. You know, I think just a check. just to check, if we put the good square back up, let's give it a wipe. Put the good square back up, we should return to 0. There we are. There we go. Yeah, so I can safely say that the comparator works, and I think I can also probably safely say that buying cheap angle plates is maybe not the best option. I think we'll probably leave it there. Thanks for watching.